Hi, Tapas Fleming here, tatlife.com. In the early 1980s, I was pregnant with twins. They both got born at 6 months gestation. I had a baby girl, and she had died a couple months before, and they didn't know it because, they didn't know that they were hearing the same heartbeat twice. They thought they were checking and hearing two different heartbeats. And I had a baby boy, and he was hooked up to tubes and wires for his whole life. One of the sweetest moments was I laid my head on the bed where he was. He was on an open bed with warming lights over him. He wasn't even something closed because his condition, his whole life was so critical that the hospital staff would have to be able to run over and get their hands right on him. But I remember laying down with my face near him and saying, "Wow, look at the situation we're in. You're this baby hooked up to tubes and wires, and I'm your mom, and my heart's breaking." And it was such intimate contact. It was the only time in his life that he smiled. Then, when he lived, after 100 days, I got a phone call from the hospital shortly after I got home with my then husband that the doctor said, "We don't even know how he's alive. The way his blood is, he should be dead. So I think you should come back." So we drove back. It was about a 45-minute drive. And when we got there, I held him, and within maybe 15 minutes, all the monitors stopped beeping, and it just went to flatline on the monitor. And I remember thinking, "Oh, my little boy," and then realizing I didn't even have a little boy anymore. Who he was just became present as a very big presence there to comfort me. And that was it. There was no sense of losing my connection with him or that I'd lost my baby. The relationship just immediately changed to something else. So, if you've lost someone and someone's died that you really love and you're not aware of their presence, I suggest you do the heart pose or the TAT pose, because it immediately puts you in connection with them, and you can silently talk to them and be with them for real. The hardest thing about somebody dying is the feeling like, "Oh my God, I can never talk to them again. I can't be in contact with them again." And I just want to say, you can. That's my experience. Just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, one of my best friends died. And I felt sad because I'm going to miss just hanging out with her and hugging her and doing things together. But I was able to feel her presence and just talk to her. So that's what you can do with TAT. And if you're interested in deepening your experience of who you are, what another being is, then I suggest you check out the spiritual type retreats I do. I might not continue to call them a spiritual retreat, but something like that, like to have experience of who you are, your eternal nature, and that you don't die. We don't die. It goes a long way in giving you real happiness and real connection. So I wish you the best and the happiest in every relationship. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.